All right, so today we're going over the truth about the 2022 housing market crash. Are you curious if the real estate market is going to crash in 2022? Are you waiting to buy that perfect home? Well, in today's video, we're going to go over the predictions for 2022 in real estate and what it looks like, so stay tuned. What's up, everyone? Rachel Capel here, East Bay Realtor in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you want to know all things San Francisco Bay Area related, what it's like living, playing, having fun, working here, and relocating, we got you covered. Make sure to subscribe down there and hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm. And a huge shout out to everyone that's been asking questions and reaching out. We absolutely love it. So definitely keep those questions coming. We are here for you when you are relocating within the Bay or coming over from Canada, from Colorado, Texas, you name it. We got you covered in this channel. So keep posted. All right, so let's get into this video. What are the projections for 2022 and the real estate housing market? Is there going to be a huge crash? Is it going to blow up in our face? Is it going to continue to rise? Is it going to just shoot down so everyone can buy houses like it's a blue light special at Walmart? Well, stay tuned because we're talking about it right now. All right, so number one, interest rates are projected to rise. So what this means, as interest rates go up, it's going to cool down the prices a bit. So Redfin is stating that prediction number one, mortgage rates will rise to 3.6%, bringing price growth down to earth. We expect 30-year fixed mortgage rates to rise slowly from around 3% to around 3.6% by the end of 2022, thanks to the pandemic subsiding and lingering inflation. That would mean about $100 more per month in mortgage payments for the median home. By winter, higher mortgage rates with already high home prices will likely slow annual price growth down to 3%, which represents a steep drop from the 24% record increase posted in May of 2021. If annual price prediction falls to 3%, it would only be the second time it will have fallen so low since the end of the housing crash in March 2012. This low price growth will likely discourage speculators from entering the market and allowing first-time home buyers to have a chance at winning a home. So now what this means is because interest rates are going to start slowly creeping up, I've heard numbers anywhere from 3 to a bit higher on the 10 or 12% growth rate for homes to appreciate. So because the fact that interest rates are going to start rising, it's going to start to kind of cool the market down. Doesn't mean that it's going to be an explosion and we're going to have a blue light special. I don't know if it was Walmart or Kmart that does that. I never participated in it. But what it does mean is that because rates are going to start to slowly creep up in 2022, that's going to affect the market and kind of cause a little bit of a cool down. Now, I'm going to go into further things that's going to kind of show you a bigger picture of what this whole housing crash is going to be. I don't think there's going to be a housing crash, but I'm going to go into that. So the first thing we have to recognize here is that rates are going to be predicted to rise in 2022. Okay, so now number two, housing prices are predicted by Redfin and Zillow that they're going to continue to rise. So in 2022, we're still going to see pricing going up for houses. That last slide that I just showed, Redfin actually contradicted it and came back with this information. Over the longer term, however, our expectations for home values growth have risen. We expect home values to grow 14.3% over the 12 months ending November 2022, up from 13.6% growth over the 12 months ending in October 22 that we projected last month. The robust long-term outlook is driven by our expectations for tight market conditions to persist, with demand for housing exceeding the supply of available homes. So they had originally said that they thought it would be 3%, but now they're basically saying they think it's going to be higher to upwards of 12%, 14%. So who knows what it's going to do, but this is what they're predicting. And the reason they're predicting housing to keep continuing to go up is because we still have issues with supply and demand chains, right? You guys all have been out there Christmas shopping and trying to buy things, and I was just out there last week and I mean, half of everything is gone. So there are still real supply and demand chains that are having issues, and we are having a housing shortage. That's not a mystery. We're just kind of coming out of the neck of the woods from COVID and the lumber and the issues with building. So building is still costing a lot of money, and we just don't have enough homes on the market. It's supply and demand. When you have a lot of people wanting something and there's not enough of it, the demand for that product goes up. We can Google that, supply and demand. if you need a further explanation. But we just don't have enough homes on the market for the people that want to buy them. And with their interest rates being low, it's like a perfect storm. So in 2022, we Redfin, Zillow, I mean, me personally, I kind of trust them. I think that the prices are going to continue to rise. Now, when they will start to kind of level off and start to dip a little, I'm not quite sure. Who knows? Nobody knows. But I do think based on these things that Zillow and Redfin are saying and the supply chains and the demand, I do think that there is still going to be a pricing. Sellers are still going to get top dollar for their house, and pricing is still going to continue to go up. There might be a little bit less competition, but pricing for houses is definitely going to continue to grow up into 2022. Maybe 2023, it kind of levels off and comes down, but who knows? But so 2022, which is what we're talking about, and this housing bust explosion, the truth about it, we're still going to have pricing increases for real estate in 2022. Okay, now with all that being said, number 3, inventory is projected to increase slightly in 2022. I think as we start seeing the supply chains get a little bit better, people getting back to work, people getting vaccinated, COVID starting to figure itself out, potentially the government hopefully minimizing all the money that they've been printing and giving out to people so people can get back to work. I think these things coupled together will have a little bit of an increase in inventory. And show you 2 slides right now, one from Realtor.com and another from Keeping Current Matters, that kind of goes over exactly this kind of belief that there is going to be a little bit more inventory on the market that will help level out by 2023, end of 2022, that crazy demand for houses and overbidding and things like that, things of that nature. More homeowners plan to sell their home in the next 12 months. In September and October, we surveyed 1,300 customers about their home ownership status and found that 26% of homeowners surveyed plan to sell their home in the next 12 months. Younger generations seem to be more eager to sell, as 34% of Gen Z homeowners and 49% of millennial homeowners plan to sell. Only 26% of Gen X homeowners, 11% of baby boomers, and 8% of silent generation plan to do the same. Interestingly, 29% of Gen Z homeowners and 54% of millennial homeowners have sold a home in the last 6 months, compared to 22% of all homeowners and only 4% of baby boomers and 3% of silent generation homeowners. Selling is more popular in the urban areas, with almost half, 46% of urban homeowners planning to sell, while 19% of suburban and 11% of rural homeowners plan the same. So I think that there is going to be a little bit more inventory coming on, and with the leveling out of the rate, it's going to have a little bit less of demand. So maybe you're not spending 50, and now every market is different, I have to preface that, but maybe you're not spending, like in California, $100K over asking. Maybe a house will come on, which I've seen actually starting to happen now, is there's just maybe 5 offers, right? Versus the 15 or 20 that was before. And it's going over like at kind of at the, depending on the home, at the purchase price or above. Now, if it's a brand new renovated home in a good demanded area, you know, we're still seeing very high gains, but not like 200 and 300,000 over asking like before. So I think as rates are starting to kind of level off, people are getting like, okay, we need to sell, we need to start figuring out where we're going to go, move to another state. You know, every market's going to be different, but I think in general, the prices are going to increase. Not huge drastic like they did in the last couple years, but like slightly. So this is from Keeping Current Matters, and you can see here estimated home prices through 2021, 11.74% gain. 2022, this is Keeping Current Matters, 5.8% increase. 2023, 3.9, 3.5 for 2024, and 3.5 for 2025. So basically what it's saying is like 2022, we're still going to see an increase anywhere from like what Redfin had said. They had first said 3%, then they went to like 12, 13, 14, and now Keeping Current Matters is at 5.82%. I think that, you know, we're going to still have those projected increases in your property values for 2022 and potentially leveling it off in 2023. And they just come back down to normal rates once those rates, the government starts to increase the interest rates. All right. So with all that said, number 4, my advice is you're going to want to take advantage of the low rates. As the government starts to creep the rates up, the whole market is going to shift. So when you are able to take advantage of these low rates and buy a house at this particular point in time, like we're in the history of rates being the lowest they possibly can be. So if you can take this time now to try and get into a home and reap the benefits of that low interest rate, you're going to win because you'll have more buying power and your mortgage payment will be lower. So let's take a look at this slide from Keeping Current Matters. You can see the cost of waiting until next year. This is based on a $350,000 loan. Obviously in California, you just double that. So today's rate, 2.9 $1,199 or around that 3% mark, you're going to pay about $1,400. Let's say 15. Let's just call it $3,000 in California because we don't have houses that are $350,000. You're going to save, once it goes to 3.5, about $107 per month or $220 a month, depending on in California. So as you can see, if you can take advantage of the rates now, you have more buying power and you also have a lower payment every month. So you would win in the end. But as it starts to level off and come back down to normalcy, the rates go up. It just depends. You're going to have a little bit less buying power and you're going to pay a little bit more on monthly payments. So that's something that you would definitely want to take into consideration if you can. Okay, so now my number 5, which is my prediction about the truth in this housing market crazy crash. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, so I have to preface that I'm not a psychic, even though I like to think that I have angels watching over me and I actually do have good gut instincts. I personally believe what's going to happen is exactly what Redfin, Zillow, Realtor.com, Keeping Current Matters is all talking about. Basically, we have rates that are historically low that are only going to go up. We have a demand because of supply chains and lumber being super expensive. Those things are getting figured out. And because they're not figured out yet, we're still in that limbo of low inventory, high demand. So because of that perfect storm, I am kind of putting my faith in what these people are saying too. 2022 is going to continue to increase and you're going to see home values go up. So you're all good for 2022 if you just bought, right? Just hang tight and you're going to be in good hands. But then as we creep into 2023, I think because as the rates rise, as the supply chains start to level out and get figured out, and the forbearance stuff, all that stuff, I don't think it's enough to cause a crash and a bubble. I don't think we're in the same situation as we were back in 2008. So I think prices will steadily go up this year. And then maybe in 2023, like the Keeping Current Matters slide showed, it'll increase to maybe 5%, right? And then it'll dip down and start to increase 3% and be steady along the way until God only knows what happens next. But I don't think there's going to be a bubble. I think if you Googled and YouTubed a lot of videos out there just doesn't seem to be the recipe for disaster for a bubble and a housing crash. And California, which is my market, is a very unique and special place. I find people that are coming to California, yes, everyone, there's a mass exodus of people leaving California. I get it. It's not a mystery. It's just kind of comical to me because every single person that leaves California, another person comes in from a random, I've gotten Colorado, I've gotten Canada, I've gotten San Diego, I've gotten places where, within the country, people want opportunity. So they're coming to California because they know there's an abundance of opportunity to make really good money if you're going to put the work in. So there are a lot of high paying jobs here that people want. And yes, they're willing to 100% sacrifice and take their 6,000 square foot home and reduce it down to like a 25 to 3,000 square foot home. So people are coming here. So California is a unique place. And I literally do believe that the reason people come here is for the weather. As many as people want to leave because they're sick of the sunshine and they want seasons. Well, I'll just tell you, we have a house in Tahoe and it dumped 8 feet of snow. And I drove in my California sunshine attitude thinking, I'll just walk into my house. Well, thank God my neighbor snow plowed a entryway into my freaking house because I would have had to climb over 4 feet of snow in tennis shoes because I was in sunshine California time. So what I'm trying to tell you is California, I don't know, people, if you want to buy in California, I'm predicting unless some national disaster or worldly disaster happens, the prices are going to stay strong in California. I'm thinking until I die, which could be a good 40 years from now, but heavens forbid. I just think that you're going to be good in California here for a long, long time. And prices are going to continue to go up. The people that have bought houses with me have all seen literally $100,000 gains on their properties in the last couple of years. It's absolutely crazy. I think clients going forward into 2023, 24, 25, you're going to see less of a gain, but you're 100%, I believe, going to see a gain in California because it's only getting more and more expensive here. And we're only going to get paid more and more here. It's really crazy to me. And I am with you thinking that it's literally nuts. Like Disneyland is crazy. It's the land of the happiest place on earth. Like California is a little bit nuts like Disneyland. It's just not normal. So everybody else, I can't speak for your markets, but I think this Keeping Current Matters slide shows it all. Like properties are going to continue to increase. They're going to slightly come down a little bit, and then they're going to level off. We are not going to see something going like this unless some just gigantic national disaster happens. And look at COVID. Is it possible? 100%. Anything is possible. But I feel like in the end, in the long term, as an investor, the end goal is to make money. And how do you make money? When you play the long-term game. Unless you're a flipper and you're buying and flipping, you need to buy at a super low price to get that money, to sell it in a couple months time frame. Like that is not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about you're a homeowner. You want to have money that you're putting in the bank, which is an investment in your home, not rent. You don't want to pay $3,000 in rent, so you're paying it into your home. This is a long-term investment, people. It's not something in the short term. So these numbers really shouldn't matter to you. Like if you're going to buy a home, you should be in it for the long haul. Look at me. I bought in 2004 for $447. I could sell my house tomorrow for 1.3. I've been in it for the long haul. I mean, I renovated it, but it's like I'm in it for the long haul. So that's my prediction. I know it was long-winded, but I hope it helped you with these fears of the housing market crash. I predict that it will not happen. I'm putting that on the record. Mark me as wrong. If something national disaster happens, I'll fess up to it. But I think based on the information I've shared in this video, you're basically looking at a steady increase. Definitely properties are going up. As those interest rates come up, it's going to level off, and then we're going to get back to normal at 3 to 5% gain in properties, but less demand in the housing market. So there'll be less competition buying and selling. And again, side note, in California, it's a unique place. So you definitely want to talk to a professional if you're moving over here, and our team would love to help you. So there you have it. The truth about the housing market crash in 2022, if it's happening or not. If you want more information about living in the San Francisco Bay, make sure to subscribe, click the like, reach out to us. We got you covered when moving over to the Bay. We can't wait to help you and your family move here. And if you have questions, we're here for you. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you got some value. Make sure to share, because sharing is caring. And until the next video, I'll see you then. Bye, guys.